Hey everyone, Charting Man Dan of the Chart Guys checking in on the markets after a big green day where all of our sectors were going in the same direction. We had a scenario where the big tech names were positioned very well if the financial sector could find a bottom, and then it was just a question of, do we see rotation with money coming out of tech and going into the financial sector, or do we see the well-positioned tech names continue to excel when the financial sector finds a bottom? And it was the second scenario with big tech up big time and the financial sector finally getting a little bit of a bounce going. So you can see the S&P 500, highest levels we've seen in the last 5 days, still work to do overall. SPY has a little bit of a different view of things, but are we in a daily uptrend? Whenever we see, you could call this a daily uptrend as far as, lower high, higher low, higher high. I wouldn't argue with you if that's your mindset, but whenever we have any kind of uncertainty, I always just zoom out, and this is the 2-day time frame, and the 2-day trend is still down. So we would have to see bulls top out wherever we're going to top out, form that higher low, and then confirm the trend change from there. So hourly uptrend is our guide. We've got a nice little bull flag into the end of the day, and I was keeping an eye on an uptrending resistance line. That's not in play anymore. We had this 4-hour resistance we were watching from yesterday, this wall here, and look at this nice back test. So a triple top over the last few trading days. We broke above it, and then the hourly back test right off of that previous resistance, now support, into continuation. So great day for the bulls. We're looking towards the FOMC this coming Wednesday. We'll see how it shapes up, but definitely some relief. And look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ seeing the highest levels that we've seen in the last month of trading. That's obviously notable. And look at the volume here. And look at QQQ. This volume is extremely notable as well. It's increasing. It's well above the average 20-day volume. Today was almost, 50% more volume, a little bit less than that, but it's a lot of bull volume. And if we go to the 2-week time frame on QQQ, we are looking for bounce continuation. So QQQ definitely leading the way, as we've talked about in the past months ago. We know QQQ divided by SPY is how the market wants to bounce. QQQ led the way down the entire bear market, and now it's leading the way up in a big way. Very much so. Definitely going to be looking for some rotation just because, we don't get much more extended than this. You look back historically, and we can definitely see the RSI above 80 as far as what the NASDAQ is doing compared to the rest of the S&P 500, but we certainly don't stay this elevated for long. And again, you can go back decades, and we could say that we are at multiple decade historical high RSI levels. So what does that mean? That means, to me, keep an eye out for rotation. But no sign of it yet, as it's a runaway bull train for the NASDAQ. Checking in on some of our bigger names. Apple is testing its high here. Keep an eye on Apple. Look at this wall of resistance being tested here. If we see any weakness tomorrow, bears are going to be all over this as a top fish, but it is certainly in play tomorrow. And if Apple gets over this level and gets to the highest level that we've seen in 6 months, that's obviously going to be very notable. We were watching this little inverse head and shoulders type of pattern shaping up on Apple that is trying to confirm. We have Amazon. Amazon's finally changing into a relative bull, and it took a while. Look at Amazon divided by QQQ. It was just weak, and it would last 1 day when we had these little bull moves, but now we've got multiple days in a row, and Amazon is setting a weekly higher low here, and it's actually trying a monthly higher low for a quick little trend change attempt. Long way to go up to 114, but Google's had a big move from its tightening range. Look at that follow through. We had our low, lower high, higher low, and then just a surge through these resistance levels. Microsoft continues to excel. Microsoft is testing its bounce high, and we broke it. Highest level in almost 7 months. And again, got that Microsoft IRA position that I am not going to exit. Ideally, the goal was for this to be a 4-month higher low with my entry and for Microsoft to put in a bottom. Maybe we get the equilibrium for a year plus, but it's a good looking 4-month chart. And again, we've looked at NVDA on the 4-month time frame and a lot of other names, and I'm not ruling out the equilibrium here into 2024. And who else? All the big tech. Netflix, glad I covered that short, getting some nice follow through for the bulls there. They'll still have to confirm the daily uptrend. And the weekly stair-step drop is still intact. That's going to be trying to break. Netflix is a potential head and shoulders. I may be interested looking short again for a weekly lower high. but not in any rush to do so. So overall, big tech is strong. Financial sector. So I was focusing on the financial sector on the bounce trades today, and I was gone midday, but for the morning it went well. We broke the low of yesterday with zero follow through, and from that point forward, it was just a V-shaped recovery. So there's, bear control. We had a double bottom, nice bottom fishing play, nice top fishing play. I was trading it in both directions during this morning tight range. The bears won there, and we dropped down and broke the low of yesterday, but then the volume ramped up, and it was a quick, fast move. Look at this move off the low. Very impressive. Ended up going, wow, plus 4.5% from the low of the day. So I do have a little bit of a swing position in the financial sector, and it's essentially I'm just trading around it. I'll long around it, I'll short around it, but pretty comfortable average at this point, and giving the bulls a chance to form the first hourly uptrend in the financial sector since this whole fiasco started. And so we have to break the high of today tomorrow for that to be the case. And if we fade back down, I'll cut that long position fairly quickly. I was looking for a weekly bounce, and honestly, I thought the weekly was more beat up than this. Weekly chart isn't beat up at all, so at this point I'm just looking for the daily oversold bounce to get some follow through. 32.85 is going to be a key resistance level, but give them the bulls a chance. In an ideal world, if we do see rotation and tech start to chill out a little bit and the financial sector start to show relative strength, then this XLF divided by QQQ chart would need to find a bottom. And again, look at the historical extremes here. 16 RSI on the daily, and this is historically as weak as it gets as far as RSI is concerned. 16 and 17 back during the CVID dump, as far as the financial sector getting crushed a lot more than tech. And again, you go back decades, and we're at multiple decade historical lows. So keep in mind that can also mean the market drops, and if tech drops faster than the financial sector, this chart's going to bounce. So it can happen in both directions. NVDA, big time bull break. And again, just grateful for the correlation chart. I didn't get this bull move. Congrats to those of you that did, but I knew not to be looking short anymore, at least waiting for relative weakness, which we never saw any sign of. EMA 12 support, daily uptrend remains intact, and this is your not yet signal. NVDA bulls still keeping that complete control. 150% bounce at this point, extremely impressive. Daily RSI, not overbought. So daily uptrend will remain our guide, and bulls powering through. And SMH, trying to make it back to the recent high as well. Again, holding that weekly EMA 12. And if we do see a bullish reaction to the FOMC, you're going to see on social media a lot more talk about the fear bottom being in. And it might be. It absolutely is possible that is the case. Tesla, nothing impressive today overall. I'm still viewing this as the same bounce. You look at this and say, is this a trend change? That little dinky higher low? That's not enough of a pivot for me. Again, same thing. Go to the 2-day time frame. Just looking for a 2-day lower high. But starting to create space for a weekly higher low to shape up. And we'll just need to see a more convincing trend change when we get a couple days of consolidation, confirm the daily uptrend, and confirm the weekly higher low is set. Healthcare, getting some follow through as well. Again, long road to go here for healthcare to shift anything big picture, but helping the market bulls rather than hurting them, up a few percent over the last couple days. IWM, daily bear flag confirmed with zero follow through. IWM bulls want to get over 179.26. Trying to hold the recent low of support. That's a double bottom by 4 pennies. Another one though, got to be cautious if we set a weekly lower high. The biotech sector, trying to set a daily higher low. It's been relatively weaker as well. Have to get over 79.93 to confirm a little daily uptrend. Haven't really been interested in the biotech sector recently. Someday I will be again, but not for now. It is really nice as a trader to have a sector to focus on, biotech sector and then the leveraged ETFs, financial sector and the leveraged ETFs. And when you got volatility in both directions, that's really all you need. I'm watching one sector today. I've got both directions. I've got leverage to increase the volatility. And it's very nice when you have a nice volatile sector and 3 times leveraged ETFs in both directions to be working with. Crypto names looking for a quick little daily bull flag. So back test of EMA support, little higher low set. Bulls want to break to those higher highs. Bitcoin didn't do much today in the broader market strength, but it's holding on well. We can see here just grinding up essentially. 12-hour is a higher low trying to form here. And no red flags. We knew that consolidation would be inevitable. We were certainly overextended. And bulls trying to climb their way back up to the recent high. And certainly if they do so, those crypto names will be back on top watch. The dollar, not much going on today. Daily inside bar. Metals, gold had a daily inside bar. And silver starting its daily consolidation. A lot of space for silver to form a daily higher low, keeping in mind we haven't confirmed a daily uptrend yet. So that's the goal for the silver bulls over the next few days. But also making note of the inverse relationship where the first clear, convincing day of a financial sector bounce is the first day of silver consolidation and gold down a bit as well. So keeping an eye on how long do the metals and the financial sector stay inverse to each other, because we know the financial sector dropping saw funds go into the metals and now a little bit of vice versa, but keeping an eye on that relationship. Oil putting in a double bottom, trying to get a daily oversold bounce going, and still 4-hour EMA 12 resistance still work for the bulls here. A lot of space for a daily lower high to be the result of this bounce, and the energy sector bouncing with it. Bears will be watching for a daily lower high in the energy sector as well. And we got natural gas trying to hold on here, pretty much a double bottom. We did break support by half a penny. I call that a double bottom on something as volatile as natural gas, and the bulls need to clear 2664 to try and regain short-term momentum. So you can see the double bottom and now a 4-hour trend change attempt. So bulls trying to stay in the picture here. 2-day time frame on natural gas, but still proving to do. So overall, big win for the bulls today. Again, the more space we can put above the financial sector and recent lows, the better. We're a little bit weak here in extended hours. Giving back some of that end of the day move. It's hardly anything. We'll see what tomorrow brings. But the key thing for me tomorrow is, can the financial sector bulls confirm the hourly uptrend? We know consolidation will be inevitable on the NASDAQ eventually here. Just looking for a daily higher low next pullback, keeping in mind that over the last 4 days, from the low of Monday, we're up 7.5%. That's a ton for the entire NASDAQ here. So again, daily consolidation won't surprise us, but best case for the bulls would be a healthy pullback, set that daily higher low, maybe before the FOMC, and then ideally they have an FOMC bull reaction, but no sign of slowing down just yet. Bulls, though, definitely on these names, if they're in shorter term trades, looking to take a little bit of profit in the NASDAQ related names if they don't want to sit through next daily consolidation. As far as the regional banks, we got to look at KRE. So they're trying to bounce as well, but a little bit weaker here after hours. And again, same thing, we must confirm the hourly uptrend. I've been doing some DPST trading in both directions. Nice volatility on this ETF. You can see from the morning low, we bounced 33%. But again, all about those hourly trend changes in the financial sector tomorrow. Going to talk a little bit about the cannabis sector and how it relates to the banking sector in a separate video. Other than that, I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to do good things.
What is your motivation for wanting to learn how to trade? I find that most people that answer that question with to make more money, they're generally not the people that stick around in this game long term. It's usually the people that have the deeper soul connection and desire of wanting to improve the lives of their family or wanting to prove to themselves that they can overcome this extremely challenging game. Those are the people that stick around. For me personally, it was not wanting to have a 9-to-5. Anything that would allow me to be my own boss and dictate my own schedule is something that I wanted to explore in my early 20s. Also, big time shout out to the stranger in line at the coffee shop who told me I'd probably cut my hair when I ended up getting a real job.